Hello viewers, how are you? Welcome to my channel Physics with Rams. So today we are going to discuss about superposition of two simple harmonic motions. So before going to start this topic, please watch my previous videos so that you will be familiar with the concepts as well as you can solve as many numericals as you can. And those who are new to my channel, please subscribe my channel so that you will get notifications based on this channel. And remember that my channel releases a video on every Thursday. So don't forget to watch my channel on every Thursday. Let's start this topic. Superposition of two SHMs. In order to represent this simple harmonic motion, we consider force acting in the case of this SHM. Whereas a force acting in the case of SHM is directly proportional to displacement in opposite direction. F is directly proportional to minus x. So here if you consider a spring which is being attached to a body. So here as you drag this body by applying a force, it starts oscillating, simple harmonic motion. So in this case, if you consider two forces F1 and F2, whereas the displacement in the case of F1 is represented as x1 and the displacement in the case of force F2 is represented as x2. The phase difference between these two displacements is represented as a pi. Then the x1 is given as x1 equals to amplitude a1 into sine omega t with the initial phase 0. Means here the displacement x1 does not possess any initial phase, whereas x2 is represented as a2 into sine omega t plus pi, sine of omega t plus pi. Now here we have to apply superposition of SHM. So here the superposition of SHM is given as x is equals to x1 plus x2. X equals to x1 plus x2, where x1 equals to a1 sine omega t plus x2 is a2 sine omega t plus pi. Whereas observe that here it is in the form of sine of a plus b, but we know that sine of a plus b is equals to sine a cos b plus cos a sin b. So we can split this equation in this form. So as we split this here, we have a1 sine omega t plus a2 into sine omega t cos pi plus a2 into cos omega t sin pi, cos omega t sin pi. Observe that observe these two equations. Here we can take sine omega t as common. As we take a sine omega t as common, here we have a1 plus a2 into cos pi into sine omega t plus a2 cos omega t sin pi, sin pi. So here I am going to replace this a1 plus a2 cos pi with r cos theta, r cos theta, as well as a2 sin pi with r sin theta. A is affixed to sin pi with r sin theta. Then as we substitute these values, here we have r cos theta sin omega t plus r cos omega t sin theta. So here observe that we can take r as common. As we take r as common, here we have sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. So we can write it as in the form of sine of a plus b. So as we substitute here, we have sine of omega t plus theta. This represents the resultant displacement of superposition of two SHMs. So now here we had represented the displacement equation. Whereas here we have to represent the resultant amplitude by considering these two equations. In order to represent the resultant displacement, here we square these two equations and add them. So let us square these two equations. On squaring these two equations, here we have r square cos square theta is equals to a1 plus a2 cos pi whole square, whereas r square sin square theta is equals to a2 square sin square pi. Now we have to add these two equations. On adding these two equations, here we have r square. We can take r square as common. Then we have sin square theta plus cos square theta is equals to a1 plus a2 cos pi whole square plus a2 square sin square pi. a2 square sin square pi. So here we know that a sin square theta plus cos square theta is equals to 1. Then here we have r square is equals to, observe that it is in the form of a plus b whole square. A plus b whole square can be represented as a square plus b square plus 2ab. Then we can represent it as a1 square plus a2 square cos square pi plus 2a1 a2 cos pi plus a2 square sin square pi. a2 square sin square pi. Observe these two equations. Here we can take a2 square as common. As we take a2 square as common, we know that a sin square theta plus a cos square theta is equals to 1. So we can represent it as a1 square plus a2 square 2a1 a2 cos pi. Then the resultant amplitude is given as r equals to under root of a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos pi. a1 a2 cos pi. So this represents a resultant amplitude. Observe that it is in the form of a parallelogram, whereas r equals to under root of p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. So here if we consider a plane, xy plane, and let us consider the amplitude a1 by an angle of omega t, and consider amplitude a2 by an angle of omega t plus pi, by an angle of omega t plus pi. Then the resultant is given in between, and it is represented as a or r. Resultant is represented by r, which makes an angle of theta, where here we can represent that these two amplitudes are in the form of a parallelogram. So this equation is represented when the two waves possess same frequency, same direction. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Now, as we had represented the resultant amplitude equation based on the same frequency and the same direction, let us consider here these two waves have different directions. One wave is along a x-axis and the wave is along a y-axis. One along x-axis and one along a y-axis. Then the displacements of these two waves is SHMC is given as x1 equals to a1 sin omega t and x2 is equal to a2 sin omega t plus phi. Observe that here the phi is equals to pi by 2. Phi is equals to pi by 2. As we substitute here, we have x2 is equals to a2 cos omega t. So observe that from this equation here we have sin omega t is equals to x1 by a1, and from this equation here we have cos omega t equals to x2 by a2. Now let us square these two equations and add them. Then here we have sin square omega t plus cos square omega t is equals to x1 square by a1 square plus x2 square by a2 square. But we know that sin square theta plus cos square theta is equals to 1. Then the resultant is represented in the form of a ellipse. The resultant is represented in the form of a ellipse. Let us consider if the frequencies are different. If the frequencies are different, then observe that here the frequency is different but direction is same. In this case here beat frequency takes place, whereas here we had represented the parallelogram where with amplitudes a1 and a2, and resultant amplitude is represented by r. Then in this case observe that here we have to represent the direction, whereas the direction is given based on theta, where tan theta is equals to a2 sin pi by a1 plus a2 cos pi. So this represents the direction of resultant amplitude. Suppose if we consider these two amplitudes are along the same direction, means here the angle between the two displacements is 0, then the resultant amplitude is given as r equals to a1 plus a2, which is a maximum. Suppose if we consider that the two waves are perpendicular or at an angle of 90 degrees, and here we know that cos 90 is equals to 0, then the resultant is given as under root of a1 square plus a2 square when they are perpendicular. Suppose if they consider that the angle between the two amplitudes or two SHMs is equals to 180 degrees, then the resultant amplitude is given as r equals to a1 minus a2, which is a minimum value. So suppose if we consider a1 is equals to a2, then the resultant amplitude is equals to 0. a1 equals to a2, then we can represent that the resultant amplitude is 0. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Here let us solve a numerical based on this superposition. Observe that find the amplitude of SHM obtained by combining the notions. Whereas the first displacement is given as x1 equals to 3 sin omega t centimeters and x2 is equals to 3 sin omega t plus pi by 3. So here the resultant amplitude is given as r equals to under root of a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos pi. Here pi is equals to pi by 3, nothing but 60 degrees. So as we substitute these values, observe that here a1 is equals to 3 and a2 is equals to 3. As we substitute these values, here we have r is equals to under root of 3 square plus 3 square plus 2 into 3 and cos 60 is 1 by 2. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. So here 2 gets cancelled, and here we have 3 square plus 3 square plus 3 square, and we know that 3 square is 9, and we can take 9 as common. As we take 9 as common, here we have 1 plus 1 plus 1, nothing but under root of 9 into 3, where we know that under root of 9 is 3, so we can represent it as 3 root 3 centimeters. So this represents a resultant amplitude, whereas here we have to represent the direction, whereas we know that tan theta is equals to a2 sin pi by a1 plus a2 cos pi, whereas observe that a2 is 3 into sin pi sin 60 is root 3 by 2 by a1 is 3 and a2 is 3 into cos 60 is 1 by 2. cos 60 is 1 by 2. So here as we do LCM, here we have 3 root 3 by 2 by 3 to 6, 6 plus 3, 9, 9 by 2. Here 2 and 2 gets cancelled, and here we have 3 root 3 by 9. And here observe that 3 3 is 9, and we have root 3 by 3. So as we cancel here, we have 1 by root 3. Tan theta equals to 1 by root 3. And here we get 1 by root 3 when theta is equals to 30 degrees. Based on that, here we have tan theta is equals to tan 30. Then based on that, we can represent theta equals to 30 degrees, or also we can represent it as pi by 6. Pi by 6. So observe that the resultant amplitude is 3 root 3 centimeter, as well as the angle is 30 degrees. See, in shortcut method, we can represent the answer as if the amplitudes are P and P, both are same, and the angle is 60 degrees. Angle is 60 degrees. Then here we have P root 3. Answer will be P root 3, comma, cos 60. We have to consider the resultant as half of this angle, 30 degrees. Observe that the actual amplitude is 3. Answer will be 3 root 3, comma, angle will be 30 degrees. Very shortcut method in order to solve this numerical. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Observe the next problem. A particle is subjected to SHM, whereas the first particle SHM is x1 equals to a1 sin omega t, and second one is x2 equals to a2 sin omega t plus pi by 6. We have to find a resultant displacement at a time t is equals to 0 seconds, as well as we have to represent the maximum speed as well as maximum acceleration of the particle. So let us solve the first one. Here we have to find a resultant displacement at a time t is equals to 0 by using these two equations. So here x1 is equals to a1 sin omega t. So here we have to substitute t is equals to 0, and here we have sin a1 into sin of omega into time t is 0, and we know that sin 0 is 0. So here we get 0, x1 equals to 0, and observe that x2 is equals to a2 into sin of omega t. Omega t is 0, 0 plus pi by 6. Pi by 6 is nothing but 30. Then here we have a2 into sin 30 is 1 by 2. So here we get a2 by 2. Then the resultant displacement can be given as x equals to x1 plus x2. Observe that here x1 equals to 0, x2 equals to a2 by 2. As we substitute here, we have x is equals to 0 plus a suffix 2 by 2, nothing but x is equals to a suffix 2 by 2. This represents resultant displacement. The second one is we have to represent the maximum speed, whereas the maximum speed is given as v is equals to omega into a. Omega into a. So let us find out a, where a is equals to under root of a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 into cos 5, where 5 is equals to 5 by 6, nothing but cos 30, and we know that cos 30 value is root 3 by 2. Then here we have a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 into root 3 by 2. So here 2 gets cancelled, and here we get a1 square plus a2 square plus root 3 into a1 a2. So this represents a resultant amplitude. So if we substitute this value here, we have omega into the value of resultant amplitude is under root of a1 square plus a2 square plus root 3 a1 a2. Now we have to represent the maximum acceleration of the particle, whereas the maximum acceleration of the particle is given as a max is equals to omega square into a, where the value of a is under root of a1 square plus a2 square plus root 3 a1 into a2. Take a screenshot, we will continue. The next problem is a particle is subjected to two SHMs in the same direction having equal amplitudes. Observe that here we consider two SHM, whereas they are having a same direction as well as equal amplitude. So if we consider A1 and A2 as amplitudes, according to this condition we have A1 is equals to A2. Let us consider it as A, and equal frequency. Both these amplitudes are having equal frequency. If the resultant amplitude is equals to amplitude of individual motion, so here the resultant amplitude is also equals to amplitude of individual motion. Find the phase difference between the individual motions. So in order to represent the phase difference, initial we have to represent the initial phase between these two amplitudes. So in order to represent this, we know that the resultant amplitude is given as r equals to under root of a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos pi, where we have to find the value of pi, whereas r is equals to a square is equals to a square plus a square plus 2 into a, nothing but 2a square cos pi. 2a square cos pi. So here observe that one a square gets cancelled, and if you bring this a square towards this side, here we have minus a square. Minus a square is equals to 2a square cos pi. So here a square also gets cancelled, and here we have cos pi is equals to minus 1 by 2. Minus 1 by 2. So here we get 1 by 2 when pi is equals to 120 degrees, or we can also represent this equation as a cos of 180 minus 60, nothing but cos 120. So here we have initial phase between the two particles is 120 degrees. So here observe that the initial amplitude is a comma 120 degrees is represented as the resultant will be a comma angle will be 60 degrees. Angle will be 60 degrees. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Observe the next problem. A particle is subjected to two SHM in the same time period, in the same direction. Here the two particles are having same time period as well as the same direction. The amplitude of first motion is 3 cm and that of second is 4 cm. Find the resultant amplitude if the phase difference between them is. So here we have to represent the resultant amplitude, and we know that the resultant amplitude equation is given as r equals to a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos pi. So now here based on these angles 0, 60 and 90, we have to represent a resultant amplitudes, and we know that cos 0 is 1. So then in this case the resultant amplitude is given as r equals to under root of a1 is 3 square plus 4 square plus 2 into 3 into 4, and cos 0 is 1. So here we have substitute this value. Here we have 9 plus 16 plus 3 into 4, 12 into 2, 24. Observe that here 9 plus 16 is 25, 25 plus 24 is 49, under root of 49 is nothing but 7. The resultant amplitude is 7 centimeter when pi is equals to 0. If we consider when pi is equals to 60 degrees, and we know that cos 60 is 1 by 2, then the resultant amplitude is given as r equals to under root of 3 square plus 4 square plus 2 into 3 into 4 into cos 60 is 1 by 2. So here 2 and 2 gets cancelled, and you know that 9 plus 4 square is 16 and 3 4 is 12. So also that 25 plus 12, nothing but 37, and under root of 37 can be represented as a 6.1 centimeter. Now we have to represent the resultant amplitude when phi is equals to 90 degrees. Then we know that cos 90 is 0. Then here we have 3 square plus 4 square, and the remaining value gets 0. It becomes 0. 0 plus something becomes something. So here we have 9 plus 16. and 9 plus 16 is 25, so here we get a 5 centimeters. So when phi is equals to 0, here we get a amplitude of 7 centimeter. When phi is equals to 60, we got a amplitude 6.1 centimeter, and when phi is equals to 90, we got a amplitude of 5 centimeters. Take a screenshot. I hope that you had enjoyed my video. Please give a like to this video, share this video to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel.